Every day, we are losing 48 football fields worth of seagrass, which up to 400,000 fish call home. The Intergovernmental Science Policy Platform on Biodiversity and Ecosystems, backed by the UN, has put out a report stating that 1 million plant and animal species are now facing extinction due to human activities, with agriculture as one of the biggest threats to Earth's biodiversity and ecosystems. This report has opened the eyes of many to the damage that we have done to our world. It has warranted a deeper look into the habitats that many species use for shelter and foraging grounds. Here we focus on benthic habitats, which consists of all organisms residing on the seafloor. In particular, we investigated the distributions of seagrass species and macroalgae, as they are vital habitats for marine species such as sea turtles and the little penguin, as well as important nursery communities for fish species. Unfortunately, these habitats are under threat from human activities, such as the anchoring of recreational and commercial boats.
King George Sound, located in Albany, Western Australia, has a uniquely high concentration of biodiversity. The aim of this project is to investigate the composition of the benthic habitat at King George Sound, particularly looking at the density and distribution of seagrass and macroalgae in relation to the depth. Our group measured the percentage cover of the benthic species present over a wide range of sites within King George Sound. We assigned depth categories for each location, shallowest depth consisting of under 5 metres, mid-level depth 5 to 10 metres, and deep level, which is any depth over 10 metres. A fourth category was later added, deep level 2, during the trip as we encountered seagrass and algae at more than 15 metres. Our hypothesis was that we will only encounter seagrass in sandy benthic habitats with a depth of less than 10 metres, as well as macroalgae on the rocky habitats. The second aim of our study was looking at anchor scars caused by commercial shipping activities. We investigated the percentage cover inside and outside of 3 designated commercial anchor sites. Our second hypothesis was that the percentage cover inside the anchor sites would be significantly different to that immediately outside the anchor sites.
While we were in Albany, we did a range of snorkelling and boat-based activities to collect our data. We conducted our snorkelling surveys at Frenchman's Bay and Mistaken Island. The site at Frenchman's Bay had vast meadows of seagrasses, whereas Mistaken Island consisted of very rocky habitat types where we saw a variety of algal species. On our boat trips, we collected data with a drop camera, which sometimes meant getting up very early to start our surveys when the sun rose. Our boat surveys consisted of transects in each of our depth categories, as well as transects inside and outside the anchor sites. Our drop camera that we used consisted of 2 GoPro cameras, one pointing straight down at the base to take photos every 2 to 5 seconds, and the second camera facing out while filming continuously as a reference point. At the same time, others were recording the GPS location and the current depth.
Results of our study found that different species of seagrasses were more abundant at different depths. Posidonia australis and sinuosa tended to be in shallower areas, Halophila ovalis was most abundant in mid-range depths, and Posidonia coriacea endured deeper depths down to 17 metres. As expected, all of these species were found on sandy bottoms. As far as the distribution of macroalgae goes, we could conclude that they were found on hard or rocky substrate. Species of Eclonia, Scytothalia, and other brown algae were deep water dwellers, Cystophora tending to be in shallower waters, and algal turf was consistent in all depth categories. Our surveys of the anchor scars showed some interesting findings, as the shallower site, Anchor B, had more seagrasses present overall than the other deeper sites. We found that anchor sites B and E had significantly less seagrass inside the anchor site compared to the outside, whereas anchor A showed no significant difference, likely due to depth.
The implications of our results are important for considering the happenings of a large portion of the King George Sound area of Albany. There are many important ecological factors which are associated with the area, including whale watching, potential for aquaculture farming, and the foraging grounds of the little penguins. The results of our study can be of significance to further industrial potential or influence the approval of works to be done if they are not already in the best interest of conservation.
In the time it took to watch this video, an area of seagrass equivalent to 4 times the tennis court was lost. The ever-growing human population and activities are increasingly becoming more of a threat to marine biodiversity and ecosystems. The addition of aquaculture farming in the Albany region could lead to the extermination of many benthic species that inhabit the area. So we must start to create solutions to help conserve the abundance of biodiversity.